The 90s brought us the World Wide Web, hip-hop, and exciting new technology. If you were a kid, you probably remember some totally awesome toys that were all that in a bag of chips. We scoured the internet in our brains to bring you our picks for the top 10 most popular toys of the 1990s. Number 10. A Tickle Me Elmo craze swept through the nation in the months leading up to Christmas 1996. The beloved Sesame Street character came to life with his stuffed red monster toy. Touch a sensor on Elmo's tummy and he vibrates with elation. The stores couldn't keep him on the shelves as the demand grew and grew. Kids loved Elmo so much that some parents were willing to pay upwards of $1,000 on the secondary market. Even though it was short-lived, the Tickle Me Elmo mania will always be a part of 90s toy history. Number 9. 1998 wouldn't have been complete without its top toy, Furby. Looking like something between a hamster and an owl, these creatures were nonetheless adorable. Furby had the unique ability to learn language over time. They would start out speaking Furbish, but as they grew, they would use whole phrases and words. They could communicate with each other using an infrared technology in the middle of their eyes, and had the speaking capabilities to be translated into 24 different languages. Their eyes and mouth opened and closed, and their ears moved up and down when they woke up. The demand for Furbies was insane. No one could resist one of these fun-loving, fuzzy friends. Number 8. Tamagotchi was released by Bandai in 1997. This electronic pet toy took the world by storm for a brief time during the 90s. The user had to keep the pet alive with feedings and cleanup. Later that year, Tiger Electronics created their own line of virtual pets called Gigapets, living on average for about 1 to 2 weeks. Almost every kid had one, and soon they became schoolyard contraband. Without a doubt, they made their everlasting mark on the 1990s toy game. Number 7. Introduced by Hasbro in 1996, Bop It was a family-friendly toy that consisted of 3 commands: bop it, twist it, and pull it. The user could pull to change modes before starting, and the game would speed up as the player attempted to keep up with it. These fast-talking handheld challenges weren't just fun to play, but were simple enough for players of all ages. Hasbro would go on to release many other versions, like the Bop It Extreme, that featured more interactive moves. In 2006, Bop It Download was released, allowing players to record their own voice, beats, or sound clips. Number 6. One surefire way to get kids off the couch in the 90s was a Skip It. Originally released a decade earlier, Skip It had a big facelift in the 1990s, making it one of the most popular toys of the decade. Simply slip your foot through the loop and the spinner would count how many times you hopped over the ball. Kind of like jumping rope, the idea was to skip over the ball while keeping it spinning around you. Watch your step though. We're hoping this one makes a big comeback for the next generation. Remember to like, subscribe, and hit the bell so you can stay up to date with our latest videos. Number 5. The Talkboy recorder was originally featured as a prop in the 1992 film Home Alone 2: Lost in New York. Each recorder featured a sleek design and came with a blank cassette and a speed setting that allowed its users to speed up or slow down while playing back recordings. Armed with a device and a blank cassette, the Talkboy recorder quickly became the ultimate prankster's dream come true. Number 4. Along with dial-up internet, you may remember another favorite toy of the 90s, Beanie Babies. Created by Time Warner, the 9 original babies were released in 1993. Believe it or not, these cutesy creatures were the internet's first sensation in 1995, when only about 1.4% of Americans were surfing the web. Each stuffed plush came already named and included 2 tags for identification: 1 fabric tag on the tush and the iconic heart-shaped swing tag on the top. These PVC-filled characters were cuddly and highly collectible. The craze may have died down, but people today still seek out special and rare Beanie Babies. Number 3. Originally invented by NASA engineer Lonnie Johnson, the Super Soaker squirt gun launched in the early 90s, and by spring of 92, they were everywhere. Boys and girls alike were drowning out the hot summer days by unloading a powerful drench on one another. No squirt gun or water balloon could match the power of the Super Soaker. In '96, the Constant Pressure Streamline was released, making it easier for kids everywhere to reign as water fight champion. No backyard pool was complete without the Super Soaker. Number 2. The original Polly Pocket toys were miniature dolls and plastic cases, which opened to form a dollhouse or a playset. Because the dolls were so small, sometimes they would come enclosed in a pendant or a large ring instead of the classic cases. Polly Pocket was invented by Chris Wiggs, a father in the United Kingdom, who was looking to create a toy to capture the imagination of his then young daughter. Using a powder makeup compact, inside he constructed a tiny house for a doll. Girls all across the world had hours of fun collecting Polly Pocket miniatures. The 90s were full of simplicity. Summer days were spent roaming the neighborhood on your bike or playing with Barbie. Totally Hair Barbie came rocking an iconic 90s fashionable dress and had beautiful brushable hair. Totally Hair Barbie wasn't just a 90s favorite, she is also the best-selling Barbie to date. When talking about the 90s, who could forget the troll dolls? Originally called Good Luck Trolls, they have their origins in 1950s Denmark. With their fun hair and cute smiles, troll dolls stole the hearts of millions and still continue to this day. Nintendo 64 was a home video game console developed and sold by Nintendo. Different from the older console, this game allowed you to have a 3D view of Mario's world. The Nintendo 64 continues to be one of the most recognized video game systems in history. Number 1. The phenomenon known as the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles swept the nation in the 90s. 4 pizza-loving turtles trained to fight the Foot Clan with the training of their sensei, Master Splinter, a mutated rat. He named them after different Renaissance artists like Leonardo, Donatello, Michelangelo, and Raphael. With a unique backstory and varied set of character traits, these turtles captured the hearts and minds of millions of kids, boys and girls alike. They first appeared in 1984 in a comic by Kevin Eastman. He teamed up with Playmate Toys, and the rest is history. Movies, a TV show, action figures, and a line of kids' merchandise earned the franchise $6 billion in revenue. Since then, the Turtles have gone through some changes, but still entertain younger generations and probably will for some time.